There's been analysts, investors, and a lot of people in the news over the last couple of years that have a critical bearish stance on Palantir. Even though their earnings are consistently better quarter over quarter, year over year, and they're sitting on $4 billion in cash, it still doesn't take away from the fact that there is quite a few bearish analysts still sitting on Palantir. In this video, we're going to dive right in and talk about a couple of analysts and how they gave Palantir a sell and strong sell rating with a price target that is going to blow your mind, saying that Palantir is underweight and overvalued. Well, yes, Palantir is slightly overvalued. It's more or less in the range of $18 to $21. However, the market is pricing in future guidance, projections, and a PE ratio down the line of around 50 to 55. Palantir is sitting in a very good position, especially with the partnership with Microsoft on AI for defense AI with the US government. And considering the geopolitics going on in the world and the tensions, that would only help Palantir. Then I'm going to show you guys something shocking that Tom Lee said about Palantir, and his projections on the stock market have been mostly right, and he's a very intelligent guy. First, let's take a look at what the analyst said about Palantir, which is ridiculous. Right here, you guys can see Rishi Jaluria, if that's how I pronounce his name, from RBC Capital gave a $5 to $9 price target with a sell rating and a 70% downside. Now, this doesn't make any sense. There is another one here, Wolf Research. This is $14. Goldman Sachs has it at $14. This is insanity. And then Jefferies analyst Brent Thill has a hold rating of 22 to 24, yet he's got the lowest star rating of the four of these analysts. Yet his is the most realistic. Here yet again is more bad news for Palantir. Even the bears are willing to give Palantir Technologies credit for its latest result, but they aren't necessarily willing to change their view on the stock. It says bears aren't quibbling with Palantir's 2% performance for the most part. They're worried about the stock's valuation in light of a 40% move higher on the year, before even taking into account Tuesday's 7% pop. It's understandable our view of Palantir stock should trade meaningfully higher today, Muso analyst Greg Moskowitz wrote in a note to clients. Nevertheless, Palantir has largely returned to the point at which we became more cautious in the first place, as evidenced by our recent downgrade, he added. He said the stock was trading about 19 to 20 times the estimated revenue for the next year, while expected to post a revenue growth rate in the low to mid 20 vicinity. Moskowitz wants to see more consistency in Palantir's results before deeming the stock worthy of such a high valuation, given the inherent lumpiness of the business that we believe will be likely challenging, he wrote. Sticking his underperforming call by boosting his price target to 24 from 22. This 19-month generative AI insanity has driven Palantir to what we view as an absurd valuation, White wrote, while keeping his sell rating on the stock and cutting his target to 18 from 20. But bulls like Dan Ives of Wedbush saw a validation moment for Palantir. This doesn't make any sense. They're giving a sell rating. One of the analysts gives it $8 to $10. The other analyst gives it 18 to 20. And then Moskowitz gives it 24. But they all say the stock is highly overvalued and underweight. This is kind of insanity considering the growth that we've seen from Palantir over the last year or two. And the amount of growth that they've had, very few companies have had besides NVIDIA and some of the big AI players, which Palantir is in the AI space. Let's go ahead and take a listen to what Tom Lee had to say.
I think a lot of this depends on whether financial conditions in the U.S. start to tighten, meaning like, do markets seize up? But with interest rates falling, the consumer's still in pretty good shape. I think on the other side of this, it'll look like a growth scare. The 2 years is signaling that the Fed is behind because 2-year yields have fallen further. But it does seem like, as we look back, a lot more this is because of the surprise hike from Japan and the sort of knock-on effects from there. If that is the primary source of the reaction, I know it's going to be tumultuous for markets, but for the U.S. economy, it's not necessarily bad news. And I think that's why we can balance. Well, markets don't like surprise. I mean, Friday's jobs report was disappointing. That means markets are waiting until August payrolls report, which is not for 4 more weeks, to really know. But I would say, to me, it still seems like July, even as bad a report it was, it's more of an aberration. And almost a record number of people that were having temporary layoffs and people who weren't working due to bad weather. And Texas had a big spike in jobless claims. So it does look like the hurricane had some effect, although the BLS said there was no effect. The last time the VIX was at this level was April 2020. So for an investor, that tells us kind of where we are, which is we know markets are nervous and they have to unwind, but it's not been a bad time to be thinking that there is a big opportunity on the other side, because once the VIX starts to calm down and markets have already corrected, we know that there's opportunity. The VIX may not have a ceiling because we know in the next couple of days there's also some geopolitical events on the horizon.
And Israel, and Iran, and we got politics here.
I mean, that's escalating. Some people think, well, that's going to turn into a nightmare this week.
Today,
or
right? Tomorrow. I mean, we don't want to.
So I think that's why it's all coming to a head this week. I mean, to me, it's a very important week because we know it's hard to catch a falling knife, as you're pointing out. Support levels are being broken, but mortgage rates are falling. The consumer's in pretty good shape, and the job market. I think it's very unlikely.
But so if the knife is falling, and you like catching falling knives, I know you. So the question is, at what point do you catch said knife?
I spent a lot of time talking to Mark Newton, our technical strategist, over the weekend, and I think that there is a reprieve coming this week. Like, who knows? It could even be today, right? We could open down huge, and then after 11 a.m., we could reverse higher. But I kind of agree with Joe that this is still August, and I think that markets traction really doesn't come back till October. So between now and October, it's maybe a range-bound market at best, but there'll still be opportunity.
Let's go ahead and take a look at Palantir's financials, technicals, balance sheet, and then I'm going to show you guys exactly what Tom Lee said about Palantir. But if you guys are having trouble in the market, maybe you're a beginner or just starting out, or maybe you've been trading stocks for a while, you can't grasp the fundamentals, the technicals, how to understand a chart and predict stock movements like I do, and maybe you are looking to get better and you want to take control of your financial freedom and have the financial success and freedom that you ultimately deserve, I offer one-on-one coaching, a full Discord and training course to help you guys achieve your financial freedom. You can surround yourself with like-minded people like myself and you to help you flourish and grow while learning and having one-on-one coaching sessions with me so that I can help you guys understand the stock market better, help you grow your portfolio, achieve financial stability and financial freedom, as well as time freedom and location freedom. If you guys are interested, I also just launched my masterclass boot camp. I have a new boot camp opening up. Limited spots remain. You guys can sign up at any time at investcorey.com right there on the screen or in the information box below. I am passionate and driven every single day to help people like you grow their financial wealth, and I would love to help you. So you guys can sign up at any time. I look forward to meeting you and helping you on your financial journey. So we're going to dive in here to Palantir, and we can see they're really up. They skyrocketed on earnings back in February. They have not fallen below $20 since February. They've had a peak of $27. We dipped back down. Now they're all the way back up. Then when the market sold off, it tanked all the way back to 20 and came right back up. Palantir is pretty resilient. I would say 26 to 28 is the floor right now. You can sell $28 puts to get in. But let's look at the balance sheet. What's going on with Palantir? Why are these analysts giving it a sell rating? Look at the financial growth. From Q4 2024, they went from 78 million to 144 million. This is double the cash from operation activities. Double. In a year and a half, they've doubled. Free cash flow from 73 to 141, again, doubled. Balance sheet, total assets, 346 billion up to 5.19 billion. 30% increase. Total equity from 246 billion up to 4.14 billion. Up from 3.86 the previous quarter in just a few short months. Net debt from negative 2.4 billion in cash, now they're up to 3.74 billion, almost $4 billion in cash. This company is generating more cash, relieving more debt, has year-over-year growth, more contracts with the government, more contracts in the commercial sector, quarter-over-quarter growth, and their customers, their top 20 customers, are spending 10 to 15% more year-over-year annually. Their trailing 12-month is also very good. We go over to the income statement. statement, total revenue, $508 million to $678 million. Again, they are up. Operating income from negative $17 million to now $105 million, 945%. Pre-tax income, $37 million up to $140 million, 368%. Net income, $30 million to $134 million. Again, up 376%. EBITDA from negative $9 million to $113 million, over 500%. As we can see by all of these numbers, Palantir has done nothing but grow. Look at these charts. Operational profits and incomes, revenues, everything going up. Quarter 3 2023 was the turnaround period. Quarter 2 2023 as well. The last quarter of 23, they jumped up. Quarter 1 2024, they're up even more, and now they're really starting to move. Palantir is a buy, period. 100% buy. My price target on Palantir this time next year, $50, $40 to $50. Right now, it's a buy. If you can get in at 27 or 28 or even 30, I would buy and hold, but I would sell puts at 28 so that if and when I do get assigned, I've collected all that juicy premium and I get in at a much cheaper price. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Tom Lee has said about Palantir. This says everything. Right here on the screen, Dan Ives from Wedbush says, raising our price target to $38 from $35 as the AIP story now takes hold for Palantir. Our bull case is $50, what I just told you. This was a game changer quarter for Palantir. The story of the AIP monetization shines. Haters will hate on this one, but US commercial AI speaks for itself. You guys can see this was retweeted or reposted by Tom Lee. Tom Lee, not the drummer from fsinsight.com. Tom Lee agrees with this. Tom Lee, I guess you could say, basically just gave a $38 price target to Palantir, and in a bull case, $50. Personally, I think it's more of a $40 to $50 price target, and a bull case for me is about $300 in the next 3 to 4 years. You guys can clearly see that Tom Lee has basically said without saying that the price target on Palantir is $38, and he's been right about a lot of things. A lot, if you go back and look at what Tom Lee has said. So Palantir right now is the strongest growth stock you can invest into, and right behind it, SoundHound. So if you have the chance to invest in Palantir, now is the time to do so. Another thing to look at in the technical aspects of Palantir is that we also have a lot of resistance. You guys can see that every time Palantir goes anywhere near $23 or lower, it just gets bought right back up. There is a lot of confidence in the stock, and that goes without saying, considering they beat the EPS by 11% and the earnings revenue by 3.81%, and they continue to beat earnings quarter over quarter. As you guys can see right here, constant growth, more every single quarter. So there is a lot of trust and a lot of confidence in Palantir, and trust and confidence is exactly how a company proves to its investors that it's growing. This is how it happens. And with all the confidence in the investing side and with the consumer's confidence in Palantir, they're going to continue to hold and continue to buy, and they're not going to sell. There's not going to be a lot of selling, which means it's going to grow on the stock market. The price is going to go up slowly but surely. And as long as Palantir continues to deliver numbers like they've been doing over the last 4 quarters, especially the last 2 quarters, then the price is only going to go up, and $38 to $40 is inevitable. It's going to happen before the end of the year, especially with interest rates getting cut in September, and the likelihood that Palantir could be included in the S&P 500 is going to send this into an upward spiral, and it's going to kaboom, explode. So Tom Lee, I agree with him 100% and completely. If they cut interest rates and this gets into the S&P 500 and things keep going the way they are at the next earnings, Palantir is going to explode. So I hope you guys are ready, primed, and have your shares, because this is the growth stock of the century. Thanks so much, guys, for being here. Really appreciate you. If you guys enjoyed the content in this video and my technical analysis on Palantir, and as I was going through the balance sheet, maybe you didn't understand a lot of the things going on with operational income, operational expenses, net debt, EBITDA, pre-tax, revenue, cash flow, net debt being in the negative, meaning they have no debt. If all of these things confuse you and you're looking to understand the market better and you just want more guidance and you want financial freedom, I offer a Discord, full training course, and one-on-one coaching where I can help you achieve your goals, become financially stable, and make more money in the market. So this way you guys can achieve financial freedom that you ultimately deserve. You guys can sign up at any time at investorcorey.com right there on the screen or in the information box below. This video is over, but don't worry. I picked you guys another video and it's right here. You guys can click that video. I will see you over there. And remember, until the next video, let's grow our wealth together. Take care, guys.